Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the World of Wayne, and I'm back from my weekend of adventures, and now I've got a World of Wayne adventures sort of tab. I thought I'd share it with you today. So we're going to start this adventure in London. And the first place to visit was Liberty, just down Regent Street. They've got a Patchwork Collective that Mrs. World of Wayne wanted me to take her to see. This was actually really impressive. Check this out. So this is the Patchwork Collective, celebrating 150 years of liberty. And as you can see, it's pretty impressive. Now behind me is the London Palladium, where they're showing Evita at the moment with Rachel Zegler. And I'm going to show you a balcony where they actually... check it out for yourself. Now, a trip to Regent Street means I've also got to go and have a quick trip into Hamleys and see what toys and collectibles are there. It's also Pride weekend, so there was a lot of Pride marches going on, so we couldn't get to some places. What we did get to do, though, was eat in Nando's, which is one of my favourite restaurants, and then we went to see the show Hercules. Now, this is where things get a little bit ropey. Now, unfortunately for Hercules, in the first part, two technical problems stopped production for about 10 minutes each time. So it's a little stop and go, but we did manage to get through to the end. I did manage to get myself some merchandise. It was a really good show, I have to say, but it was just a shame they had those technical difficulties. Now, I was down in London because my ultimate plan was to walk Southend Pier in Southend, because there was a ship I wanted to see, a Christopher Columbus replica of the Santa Maria, and that didn't go to plan either. Check this out. So I thought, you know what, why don't I just walk the pier and talk about my life in Southend and how things have changed over the years. This area here used to house a massive bowling alley, which burned down. The things are burned down on a pier by the sea. But we're going to do all 1.33 miles of this, which means, let's check out the other side of Adventure Island here, which does mean that I've got to walk 1.33 miles back again. So 2.66 miles altogether. So this is going to be fun. Now, I don't know if I can use this audio because I haven't bought my microphones. I'm using the microphone that's in the camera, but obviously there's wind. So there's probably going to be a lot of wind on this, we'll have to see. I could have chose to take the train. We don't want to be doing that. But this, my friends, is what we're going to be walking. And talking about the train, I've got a nice glass ball here, but there's the tracks. There's a train coming now. At the time of doing this video, it's something like £3.50 or something to walk up here. £3.70, something like that. I think it's £7.70 if you want a train return. But the trains are quite an old thing as well. Look, you've got to check this out. Now it might be worth pointing out that the building just there is a very old building called the Kurzel, which unfortunately again is in a state of disrepair and is there's nothing there. There has been a casino at one time, it's been an amusement park at one time, but unfortunately, yeah, nothing there. So let's get to the quarter mile mark and let's see how we get on with this. Tide's in at the moment, so that's going to be fun. You know, the thing that you can find scary about piers is that if I just focus down here, I'm looking at the drop between the boards here. It's pretty scary. Makes for an awesome picture though, doesn't it? And again, we've got these Victorian shelters here, which haven't really changed apart from, you know, woods and stuff, but the design is still the same as it was back in the very early 19th century. I think I'm about a quarter of a mile now. Now, this isn't the longest pier in the world, but it is the longest pleasure pier in the world. There is a difference. So 1.33 miles, and I don't know what class is a pleasure pier. Is it because it has things at the bottom of it? I don't know, amusements, who knows. But just for normal piers it's not the longest, but for pleasure piers, longest in the world. Again, it's getting quite windy the further I go out, so I hope you can hear this, but check out the way this has been created in this metal bench. That's pretty cool. Now obviously today I was meant to be seeing the replica of the Christopher Columbus ship, the Santa Maria, the 1435 ship, something like that, but it has been windy and it has to moor up against the pier, so I'm guessing it was getting knocked about, but it wasn't safe to stay, so it's gone on to its next location, which I believe is Great Yarmouth. I think then it's off to Ramsgate, and I think it finishes his little tour at the end of the month and beginning of August in Weymouth. There's a few people in front of me, and I mean, it is 11 o'clock in the morning. The pier opened at 10:15, but there's hardly anyone behind me, as you can see. So I can take my time. One of my friends just advised me that Corby's got thunderstorms at the moment, so I'm glad I'm down here, but don't let these blue skies deceive you, because apparently those thunderstorms are coming here around about 2 o'clock, so I need to be back in the car by then. Okay, if you can see this sign here, we're just coming up to the 1 mile marker, which means there's just a third of the mile to go. And there you go, there's the 1 mile marker. Hey! You know what, I've just realised I've been doing all these talking head videos without my auto track enabled, so I can do things like this, so I don't know what that footage is going to look like. Put my auto track on there. But as I was just saying, we've just hit the mile marker, so we've got a third of a mile to go, and that's what it's looking like behind me. Here you go, here's the train station at this side. This is where the train will drop you off for the end of the pier. Let's go check out the end of the pier. This building here used to be Jamie Oliver's restaurant, which unfortunately closed down a long time ago. So this building wasn't here the last time that I came on the pier with the lifeboat. Well, the lifeboat was here, but not the station and that tower there. That wasn't there. But there is a restaurant at the end of the pier. I've just had a nice cup of coffee, which is all cool. I'm kind of wondering where that ship was docked. I'm kind of thinking it was probably here. And as I said, if the wind is too strong, it's just going to keep banging up against all of those posts there. So that's probably why it's gone on its merry way. It would have gone that way to get to Great Yarmouth. but it is a shame I didn't get to see it, but it wasn't going to stop me walking the pier. So let's make our way back. Might be worth mentioning, you do have access to the lower deck of the pier, so you can actually go into the water if you like. There's a lot of scaffolding down there at the moment. But, it's like that. The guys there are being told off by the train driver because you're not allowed to overcast, you're not allowed to cast over your head. You're basically allowed to just drop your rods into the water because there is danger of hooking up the train, so that's why they've just got themselves into trouble. Ah, a bit of drama. The fisherman here's been doing it too, so I'm wondering if he's going to stop to let him know. No, he's letting him go. I know, he is stopping. Look, he's going to tell him off too. Being able to film just off the cuff. That's the second person told off for doing it. Now, just giving you a little bit of history as well. During the war, obviously to the east here is the main inlet leading to London. A bit windy, so I'll walk. So because of that, there's a lot of mines placed there, and obviously over the years, all of those mines have been cleared up. But occasionally, you do get some that pop to the surface. So there is warning signs up in Shoeburyness about munitions in the sea, and a couple of times they've had to do, actually quite a few times, they've had to do some explosives to get rid of them. But they still pop up to this day. So behind this building on the right is where the Golden Hind and the waxworks used to be. I've sort of superimposed a picture here, but it's hardly noticeable with all these new buildings that have been built now. But let me show you where the entrance was. And this whole building there is where that used to be, and if around here, it's all changed. Around here is where the entrance was. So it would have kind of been here, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's completely gone now. And compared to some of the photos I'm showing you here, these are really recent. I mean, I'm talking the last 20-25 years these things have been built. But there you go, that's the Palace Hotel now, and this is what it looked like back in 1901, I think, something like that. Now I've taken a little beeline. I'm actually going down into Adventure Island. Now this place used to be called Peter Pan's Playground, and there's something here which God, it's been here since the turn of the century, called the Crooked House, and I got a picture of it here. Let's see what that looks like today. There you go, that's what that looks like today. After all these years, that's still standing, but a lot of the things around here no longer exist. There used to be a helter-skelter here, a big slide, but yeah. Okay, so many years ago, a place used to exist here called the Esplanade, which was the pinnacle of live entertainment in Southend. Every weekend I'd go down here. Unfortunately, it was shut down eventually, and as old buildings do, it spontaneously combusted. But it didn't destroy the building, so a few months later it spontaneously combusted again, and it did burn down to the ground this time, and that was to make way for this. It's amazing how these old buildings just spontaneously combust. And that's the end of my whistle-stop tour to London and Southend, and unfortunately I didn't get to see the ship, but the one thing I want to show you, the last thing, meant I had to walk to Westcliff, and they used to have a swimming pool, which was a saltwater swimming pool actually built onto the sea. It's now been turned into a casino, so check this out. And this is what it looks like today. It is a casino. I'm not going to go too close, there's not much to see because they're doing a lot of work, as you can see, and there's scaffolding on it, and they built on top of it, and it has completely changed to what it used to be. Pretty crazy. But there you go, that's something different from the channel. So why do I put these out here? Well, obviously, as you know, I'm going to be doing that 100-mile walk in Scotland on the West Highland Way next year. Part of this walking is to actually just get used to that. The other thing is to give you an idea of what motivates me, just out looking at things like that bench, how colour the planks are on Southend Pier, just some things. It's just inspiration for when you're building models and stuff, or actually building anything from scratch. Colour schemes, what you can add to it, ideas. That's what I get from this. But it's also interesting to see how things were to how they are today. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.